This week's Piltch Point with Avram Piltch is proudly powered by Monster Products. The headphones on my head right now, the Monster Elements, available in full over-ear, then on-ear and in-ear, plus a wide variety of other styles of headphones, whether you're looking for, in-ear Bluetooths for working out, or you're looking for, big headphones for home listening, or you're looking for Bluetooth speakers from the tiny hotshot to the big monster blaster and everything in between, plus all the cables that you need to connect these and all of your other devices, whether it be HDMI or even power. Monster has it all, and you can find out all of the products by going to f5live.tv/monster. And of course, that music means that it is time for the Piltch Point with online editorial director of Laptop Magazine and Tom's Guide, Avram Piltch. Avram,
hey!
What have we got this week? We've got two things, right?
Yes.
Because you wrote an interesting piece.
Yes. So it's an old story, but it hasn't changed a lot. And I wanted to comment on this. Bloatware on your Windows computer. There's a lot of it still, which some people are surprised to hear. I wrote to an analyst that we often get commentary from, and he said, no one has asked me about bloatware for years. It's not a problem anymore. Whether or not it's a problem, that's an interesting perspective.
Because that's taking a position on, not on its existence, but on the value of its existence.
Oh, well, he's saying it doesn't exist.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying that it exists, but it's not as bad as people say.
Sure.
But the volume of it is quite impressive. So one thing that Andrew Friedman, my colleague at Laptop Mag and Tom's Guide, did a story about earlier in the week was Windows Signature Edition, or actually officially referred to as Microsoft Signature Edition, but some people say Windows Signature Edition. And those are laptops or PC desktops that are sold with a quote-unquote cleaner install of the operating system, which is supposed to be free of, they don't use the word bloatware, but trialware and, third-party toolbars and all these things. But unfortunately, what we found is that even laptops that have come with this quote-unquote signature edition on board, which is every laptop that you buy at the Microsoft store and several laptops that are sold by other companies such as Asus and Lenovo, sell things through their own other channels that are like all ThinkPads now, I think, are signature edition. It doesn't really do much for you. So the reason it doesn't do much for you is most of the bloatware on computers today, I'm sorry to say, is put there by Microsoft and is there on Signature Edition and not Signature Edition. It's there across the board. So if you buy a new computer today, you will find at least 10 or 11 pieces of bloatware on there before you see the ones that before you see the ones that, like, let's say your manufacturer like Acer or Asus may have put, or Dell may have put on there. Everything in the if you open your start menu, you see like the first four sections: create, explore, and I think the other two. You'll see a whole bunch of things that are standard in all Windows installations now. So unless you get like Enterprise Edition, so you'll see Bubble Witch Saga and Candy Crush Soda Saga and Asphalt 8, and you'll see the Plex Media software, and you'll see you'll see Drawboard PDF editor, or at least a link to download it from the Windows Store, and you'll see a whole. So all together, all of the things that they're trying to get you to do, which include a lot of really chintzy casual games like Candy Crush Soda Saga, are put there by Microsoft and standard on every computer, even if you get Signature Edition. On top of that, depending on which laptop you get from which manufacturer, you could have another 5 to 10 pieces of software installed, which could include trial antivirus software, and include, which is banned from Signature Edition at least, and could include more casual games, other and services that you may or may not be using already, like Amazon and Netflix. So you have all this in your start menu, and let's face it, it's annoying. But is it so bad that it should change your decision on what laptop to buy or what computer to buy? Should you tear your hair out over it? No. This is very simple. Uninstall the software. I know that sounds kind of flippant of me to say, just uninstall it. You will. The average person now buys a new computer, whether it's laptop or desktop, no more than like every 4 years. Something like that. I mean, you may end up buying other ones for other members of your family or something like that. But, you're not buying a new computer every day. You buy, unless you're in an IT department in a business, which in that case, if you buy one with the Windows Enterprise, then you can avoid this stuff. But, you don't have to do this process every day. It will take you maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes at the outside to uninstall all the unwanted stuff when you turn on your computer. Now, that doesn't make it a wonderful experience, but there's a reason that it's there, and the reason is that Microsoft and your laptop manufacturer, they're getting paid. We don't know how much because these things are very tightly, these secrets are very tightly guarded. We don't know whether they're getting paid for every computer that it's on or just for just for upgrades and usage and whatever. But we know that somehow, somewhere, this stuff is defraying part of the cost of your computer. Margins are very tight. Manufacturers don't make a huge profit now on PCs. And if they were to suddenly stop including bloatware, or Microsoft would suddenly stop including bloatware, somewhere somebody, probably the consumer, would have to pay extra. A few years ago, many years ago, almost 10 years ago, Sony had a program with the Vio laptops that it sold called Fresh Start, and you could pay $50 more to order your Vio without crapware, without bloatware. So, would it be $50 today? I don't know. We do, but maybe it would be $10. Who knows? But whatever that amount is, unless you get paid a lot of money for your time, maybe if you're a lawyer that makes $500 an hour, maybe it would be worth it for you to spend an extra $50 on your laptop, not to spend 5 minutes on installing things. But I think for the rest of us, where we're not getting paid for that 5 minutes, I would rather take the little small annoyance of uninstalling that stuff once every few years, than have to pay extra for my computer not to have it.
I totally agree. Best Buy used to offer a service from Geek Squad where they would remove all of the stuff for you, and I don't think they offer that service anymore because people just, I think, especially with like what generally comes on Windows 10, especially the stuff from Microsoft. Like when we put your new computer in over here, it came with Microsoft Clean, right? So it's not a signature edition, but it was Microsoft Clean. The manufacturer didn't put anything extra on.
Right.
And uninstalling stuff that comes from the store is stupid easy compared to the old days of having to go into the programs and find the thing and do the uninstall, and does it all go away? Well, if it's Norton, no. All of that stuff. There were annoyances in that today, even that has gone away, which makes the process even easier to uninstall.
Yeah, I mean, look, in a perfect world, you wouldn't have any of this stuff. I do think the most annoying thing in bloatware is the stuff that's like your trialware antivirus, because a lot of people don't know better, that, look, first of all, there's free antivirus options that you can download. Second of all, there's Windows Defender, which is built into Windows and is free. Granted, it doesn't get as high marks for protecting you as, as some of these paid programs do. But, you end up with like a 30 or 60-day trial on there, and then it keeps nagging you to upgrade, and somebody like my mom might not know better, and, they might spend the money. So, it's... I think that might be the most annoying thing. But,
Yes.
The days when you used to open up your browser and have all kinds of crazy toolbars and things like that, which is what they're basically talking about when they say the Signature Edition has no toolbars and whatever. We can... That's over. Like,
Edge
and even
doesn't
when
even have that capability anymore.
No, it doesn't. So, I think, as we get in laptops every day, and I hear from my coworkers every day, oh man, look at all the bloatware on this thing. And they're not wrong. Like, some of these things come with a lot of bloatware. Like, Acer is a huge offender. Like, we were looking at Acer Swift 3 the other day, and it had like 10 pieces of bloatware on top of all the Microsoft ones. Nevertheless, when push comes to shove, who cares? Just uninstall it. I'm sorry to say that. Like, sure, if it's me and I had to do this 50 times a day, 10 times a week, I'd be annoyed. But, and we, to benchmark things, we uninstall the antivirus software that's on it. So, the trialware. So that's annoyance to us. But if you're buying every computer every couple of years, just take the 10 minutes. I mean, there's so many things you have to do when you buy a new computer. It's like you buy a new car. Are you going to be upset because there's plastic wrap on the seats and there's like, some white paper over the like on the floor that you have to take off and throw away? Like, that's just, that's part of getting a new thing, right? Like, are you going to be upset you get your laptop, the packaging has styrofoam in it, and you got to like wipe the styrofoam off of stuff? Like, it's an annoyance, but it's a part of life, So speaking of parts of life, here is a laptop that I'm reviewing right now. I just wanted to share this with the audience so they could actually see some hardware on here. I'm gonna have a visual show and tell. This right here is this right here is the Asus ZenBook. I forgot that I was watching an episode of Star Trek on here. Anyway, this is the Asus ZenBook UX 430.
Featuring the back of Shatner.
That's actually not Shatner.
Oh, it's not?
To be honest, okay, I shouldn't admit this, but I was doing some catch up on Star Trek today, and I was watching Star Trek Continues. Have you heard of that?
Yes, absolutely.
So this is actually, if you want to not call it Star Trek, it's a Star Trek Continues web series, which is actually really good in my humble opinion. And I was watching on this because the screen is so nice. The screen of this reproduces like 133% of the sRGB color gamut. Things are very bright and vibrant, and when you're watching something that at least is trying to emulate the Technicolor or whatever of the 60s TV show, It really stands out on this screen. So this thing is nice. It's really lightweight. It's 2.78 pounds for a 14-inch laptop. That's pretty good. The battery life is 8 hours and 40 minutes on our test, so pretty decent. Not, that's about average for a 14-inch notebook these days. The keyboard is kind of a mixed bag. It has good feedback, but I found the A key on this unit, at least that I'm testing, is a little stiff. So it's slowed. It's caused me to make a few more errors than I normally would. But it's got a good array of ports here. You see it's got an SD card slot. It's got regular USB. On the other side, it's got a USB-C, and it's got more regular USB. However, it cannot charge over the USB-C, so that's a downer. But it's got a nice metallic design. It's costs. It got a Core. Oh, I forgot the kind of important part. It's got an 8th generation Core i7 processor inside, and 512. I think it's a 512 gigabyte SSD.
Nice.
So maybe it's the 256. Okay. It's got a fast, speedy SSD. It's got a Core i7 processor, and all this for 1050, and it weighs very little. So so a really nice laptop. My review of it will probably be up on Monday on Laptop Mag, and I just wanted everyone to get a little preview here of this Asus ZenBook UX 430, which is pretty cool. Now it has some pretty stiff competition in the premium laptop space, no doubt. The Dell XPS 13 that I reviewed recently lasts for 16 hours on a charge, weighs about the same as this, and is a little bit smaller, but the screen is not quite as colorful on that, and some may prefer a 14-inch system. And actually, when the Dell is not on sale, this is a couple $100 cheaper. So that's just kind of a quick look at that. So I encourage everyone to check out my article on Bloatware on laptopmag.com and our review of the Asus ZenBook UX 430, which is coming up. And we also just posted a review of the new HP Spectre 13, which also has 8th Gen Core. It's a big time for us with 8th Gen Core. We're getting a lot of laptops that are refreshed with the 8th Gen Core CPUs right now.
That's cool. Have you guys gotten the refreshed Razer Blade Stealth? Because I'm super excited to hear about that one.
We might have. We might have. I'll check on that and get back to you. We might have.
Okay. I'm always curious to hear your take on things. So I'm excited about this one.
I guarantee that we will have a review of that shortly if we don't have it in the office right now. I guarantee we'll have it. We'll have it shortly. We have a great relationship with Razer. They're sending us stuff. They're sending us stuff all the time, and usually on par with other things. So I know that we'll be reviewing that soon. I know that we'll be reviewing now that we've done the Spectre 13. We're supposed to be getting the Envy 13 and the Spectre X3, the new Spectre X360 13-inch. And I also, it's hope. I don't have this for a fact, so let's say it's a fact, but I hope at some point soon we'll be able to also, review the Surface Book. Microsoft usually sends us the stuff, so we'll hope to be able to talk about that soon.
Nice. Well, I look forward to seeing it, and I appreciate seeing the Asus there.